Hello, good morning, everyone. How are we doing? Welcome to YAA'S Book Corner. It's our Saturday Facebook Live. I trust that you're all having a good weekend. Trying to get my phone open here and start sharing. So today's topic is do your inner work. And so I'm going to share to groups and then we'll just come back and speak about it. How's that? All right. Just give me a few secs. Trust that you've had a good week. As usual, the days are just speeding by. I always talk about it because I can't begin to believe half the month is gone already. We're inching closer to the end. So 2025 started. I hope that you are coming along with your goals and whatever it is that you set your mind to do. All right. So I believe that I have, well, I thought I'd finish sharing, but okay, one more. Let's see. Okay, so let's get started. 2 weeks ago, I shared about starting your self-improvement journey. And today, I thought I'd come and talk about the inner work. So when we say inner work, what do we mean? Right. So I'm going to be looking through my notes. Inner work is taking responsibility for yourself, acknowledging your emotions, and growing from your experiences. It changes your perspective, right? And it helps you to build healthier relationships. So, inner work is the mastery over your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and actions for the purpose of creating a more harmonious and joyful life. You see, when a person has done the work and you meet them, you know. And if they have not too, you know. It's so important to do this work because it helps us to be honest with ourselves, to love ourselves more, and to make a positive impact on those around us. So, inner works brings light. It brings compassion and awareness to your subconscious, your conscious and unconscious realms of your being. How many of us want to do this work? It is not easy by any means. It is about diving inward, right? Speaking to yourself, being in connection with and dialoguing with yourself, seeing yourself, knowing yourself, loving yourself. So before I carry on, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. TikTok will be on for an hour. So after an hour, we'll go off of TikTok. So if you're on TikTok and you want to continue with us, come to Auntie Ya's Book Corner or Ya for that Tobra and listen to the rest of the program. If I go past an hour, that is. Like I was saying, doing the inner work is not an easy process. No, it is gut wrenching and it can be heartbreaking too. And so a lot of us don't want to do this work. You know, there's parts of us that we've exiled or we've forgotten about. Through this process, we welcome those parts back so that we become whole, integrated, strong, aware, and free. Listen, we hide a lot of things. You know, if you are somebody like a people pleaser, you're always trying to please people and this and that, and you won't sit down and look at yourself and ask those deep questions as to why am I this way? Do I want to be better? You're so fearful. There's something that makes you do that. You want to please people because you are so afraid they won't love you if you say no, if you stand on your own. So it's a hot mess, really. Yeah. And some of the hidden things, our feelings, our beliefs, prejudices, hurts, wounds, shadows, and memories will all come to the surface through this work. It is very painful. It is not something that you rush through. It is a life process, it's a journey that you undertake bit by bit, right? So it's a willingness to feel and process the pain, the hurt, the shame, fear, rage, and sadness as you begin this journey. Hello, Nanaraba. Good morning. I hope that my Goy people are doing well. And if you look at us, for example, as a community, a lot of us may have. It's interesting that when you write comments, very general comments on social media, then people come and attack it. Says some, not all. But if a particular trait is distinctive to a particular group of people, it is normal to generalize and say most. So I say that most of us have gone through trauma and we don't deal with it very well. Oh, good to know. Thanks. So this is what I'm saying. It's we are not willing to feel and process these pains, shame, hurts that we feel. So you see it spewing across in our dialogue, daily dialogue, right? Sometimes on social media, you hear somebody talking and you can know from the way they are talking that this is a very angry person, right? But we don't sit to examine ourselves. Oh, as for me, that's how I am. That's the way that I am. I can't change. You know, me, if you bring yourself, I'll give it to you, blah, blah, blah. They won't sit and analyze why they are saying the things that they are saying. Something must have happened to them previously that makes them so angry. And so it's showing, it's reflecting, right, in the way that we deal with each other. So, some of the advantages of doing the inner work, your soul is strengthened, you are driven by courage, and you live with integrity. You are able to feel yourself, feel your life, feel the impact things have on you. You are able to tolerate discomfort, challenge your own beliefs. A lot of us can't tolerate discomfort. That's why when you make a statement on social media, depending which platform, this is why I say it's not every platform that I go on, because people don't understand. We have some people who just fight everything. They get triggered by everything and they don't know why. They see you as the problem. So they'll come and just attack you. They are not, they can't tolerate the discomfort of staring at a comment that is speaking right to them. So you're able to challenge your own beliefs, you examine your attachments, and you do the unfamiliar and uncomfortable things. As I said before, doing this inner work is a lifelong process. It's continuous, and you have to be dedicated to it. You have to be willing to do it. The thing about it is that if you see yourself that things are not going that well for you, you feel uncomfortable, you feel unhappy, you feel unfulfilled, and you are honest enough with yourself to sit and examine it and decide what you want to do about it, that is your first step. You are to victory. You've owned the problem. This is why I talk about own it. Yeah, it's let me see this book here. It's a very simple book really, but it's got a lot of nuggets. Own it, a guide to taking accountability and responsibility for your own life journey. Nanaraba says, sit in the pain, acknowledge it, process it, go through it, and see what happens. It's exhilarating and a powerful experience. Thank you. A lot of times we are not prepared to be that honest with ourselves. And I say that we come from a community, I am Penokwari. So some of these things we think, oh, we trivialize it. Oh, more farmers, so what is that? Where yeah, they yeah, pesika. If we need money, you are coming to talk about stuff like that. Yeah. So how can you do the inner work? Listen, these are just broad themes I'm putting out there. It's not to say you have to take them all. You pick whichever applies to you. Maybe you even have your own methods that you can develop to start processing or going through some of this. So journaling is a very powerful one. You write down your thoughts, your feelings, and experiences in a safe space. Yes. And a safe space is so important, where a lot of times I see people sharing everything under the sun on social media. And the platforms that you go share on I'm not sure that everybody on there are experts by any means. So you need to be very careful, because I've seen situations where people are sharing, and then the guest or whoever turn around and lambast them with what they have shared. I need to be able to share in a safe space where I'm not going to be condemned. Yes. So when the ladies that are in my circle, we do these lives and whatever, we don't have those kinds of things, people coming to. No, even if you choose to come and share, we're not going to condemn you or tie and feather you. We have to be, we need to have empathy. We need to have empathy. We are a very condemning and shaming culture, and we think we have all the answers. So when something happens to somebody, we stand in judgment and tar and feather them. Even God won't judge the person like as we judge them. And I digress and go to when David got into trouble for counting the men of Israel, and God gave him the punishments. He should pick three. He said he'd rather fall into the hand of God than the hands of man. He's a very wise man. Yeah. The second thing, how can you do the inner work, is what we're talking about. We spoke about journaling. We are so afraid to deal with our thoughts. Even thinking it, we want to pretend and so, I'm fine, everything is fine, and go around laughing, and meanwhile we are weeping inside. Tony says we really need to have empathy and equity. You see, so it's like what do you call it? We can't even write down the truth, our thoughts. Write it down. It's it gives you a release. You feel go, oh wow, yeah. Sometimes if you may be so angry at somebody and you don't know how to approach it, write it all down. You see, the trick that I learned while I was working, they said the first email that you write, don't send it. Pack it. Then go and read it again before you send it. You need to, yeah. The second thing you can do is meditation. Focus on your breath. Quiet your mind. Even meditation, you step back from the constant thoughts and gain more control over your life. It's like find a quiet place, sit quietly. It could be through prayer or reading the word. You calm yourself, you reflect. Sometimes when you're going through pain, we want to quickly rush through it. Oh, I don't want to feel this pain. Let me mask it. Let me do this. Blah. No, sometimes you need to sit with it, process it. But some of the things you can do. A lot of these thoughts too may be triggers of something that happened to you right in the past. So calm yourself, because you'll be feeling anxious, but calm yourself. Do some deep breathing. There's just different varieties of medication meditations that you can do. So I leave that up to you. And Araba says, go to God, tell him how hurt you are, how bitter you feel, and how vengeful you are, but you want to do the right thing, so he should help you. We should stop fearing ourselves and the emotions we feel and do the work. It's freeing. Thank you, Nanaraba. Thank you. You are really throwing some nuggets out there today. The fear, the fear, the fear. Yes, we are afraid to own our truth, own ourselves. Okay. And then the next thing, we're talking now about how you can do your inner work. So the next thing is affirmations. Repeat positive statements to yourself to boost your self-esteem. Nanaraba says God is a good God. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm this, I'm that. I have the mind of Christ. You all kinds of things. Even, I'm worthy, I'm powerful, I'm capable, I'm lovely, I'm strong. Feel good about yourself. It's you see, I'm not sure. Like I keep talking about this and maybe people may not get it, but sometimes the way we were raised, we take humility a little too far. It's so important, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing wrong with you as a person to having confidence. And we tend to shun that and we call people arrogant, right? But then the thing is, the way that we are, if we want people to be just quiet and mousy so that we can take advantage of them or whatever, I don't even know how to describe it. It becomes we if you don't do, you become a bully. What do you call, you get bullied, right? You need to learn to stand up for yourself, own your stuff and all that. So it's just important. Any human being should believe in themselves, because if it doesn't start from you, who's going to do it for you? You were created in God's image. A lot of us are believers, so when I talk, I tend to bring that in. And the Bible is full of such empowering verses. And we read this, and then you hear people, oh, as for me, I don't know how to do this. As for me, I'm that. Really? So the next thing is practicing self compassion. It can include self compassionate journaling. I spoke about journaling earlier. Positive self talk, challenging your inner critic. What I just said. Oh, as for me, I don't know anything. As for me, I didn't go to school. As for me, people don't like me. As for me, this we can talk about all the negative. Stop for a moment. Say, why don't people like you? You tell me. For myself, I can tell you why. Because I speak the truth. And I'm not saying I always do, but basically, like, that is my core value. Be honest. And people don't like that. Yeah. If you are from where I come from, you know what I'm talking about. We like katasumwemwa, so we are nyachung. We don't speak the truth. We just go with anything. Even if the truth is staring us in the face, we will lie and cover up. And you know, I'm going to say this in tree. Sometimes if we have serious situations, obi akoto akola mona, but yebeye ye ho se yenim dia ekoso. Yɛntee da yɛn ɛwɔ ɛyɛ wo papa ɛyɛ wo wɔfantin kasa ka wano tum, those kinds of things. Yeah. So challenging your inner critic, when that thought comes into your mind that, oh, as for me, I'm this, oh, I can't do anything, say, no, I can. I just haven't figured it how to do it, but it's something that I can do. Oh yes, Nanaraba says imposter syndrome and self-fulfilling prophecies minus us, so we are owning ourselves. Yes, I'm not going to sit here and tell myself that I'm stupid. Those days are over, long gone. Yeah, if I make a mistake, I will acknowledge it, but I'm not going to live the rest of my life putting myself down. No, there are people who are willing to do it for you, so why help them? Thank you for that. Yeah, you know. And you can't literally give what you don't have to someone. Speaking your mind brings some fulfillment be within you. I'm not going to be quiet. No, I'm not. I've gone through life enough being silenced that I've learned to own it. And nobody's going to take that from me. When you see people who are confident, who are self-actualized speaking, instead of you jumping to conclusions and criticizing them, ask yourself, how did they get there? They must have gone through something, come to an awakening, and told themselves, never again, I'm going to fix this. And they did the work. So, especially women, when you see other women talking who believe in themselves, who are confident, don't jump all over them and harass and torment them because you hate what is within them. The problem is that you need to do that work, but you are so afraid to, and you can't for the life of you understand why somebody would be so bold. That is so wrong. There's lessons that we can learn from one another. The next thing is practicing or embracing solitude. You see, when you don't know who you are and you've not done the inner work, you're running around in groups. When people are fooling, your friend is fooling, you follow them to go and fool because you don't know who you are. You can't take a stand and say, no, I'm not going to do this. And the thing is, when you spend time alone to help you reflect on who you are and what you want. So if you know that you're not going to be a follower on this earth and you're going to speak your mind as gracefully as you can stand up for yourself without having to engage in a fight with anybody. Yeah. So embracing solitude, it shouldn't be go 24/7. Find a quiet time. You're a busy mom, you're a busy husband, working, a busy child, whatever it is. Find time, you know. Hello, Miss Aisha. Long time. I've missed you. Where have you been hiding? Good to see you. Thanks for coming on. Also, this comment was from Tony. What did I read before? You can't literally, yes, that's true. Yeah. As for speaking your mind, I stand by it 200%. Yes. The next thing you can do, like in terms of doing your inner work, practice positivity. Focus on your strengths, speaking up, doing things your way. So, speaking up, like I said, it's so important. Don't go through life being a mouse, you know, like because you are so eager to please people, you won't stand up for what is right or you won't stand by your convictions. You see that thing going on there and you know it's wrong. Okay, the thing is red, but you are saying it is black. And when you do that, people know who you are. Sometimes we think we are deceiving people, but we are deceiving ourselves. And it can cost you. It can cost you. It can cost you your everything. Yeah, it can really cost you integrity, everything. When you're not honest, people know, right? So, and positivity, focusing on your strength. Stop talking about, I can't do this, I can't do that. What are you good at? Focus on it. And then the things that are not so good, work on them. Work on them. Yeah. As for the positivity, I can't stress it enough because, again, I'll go to my community. We are very negative people. Hey, when somebody is done well, we'll always ascribe it to say, Wakoye Drew, they've done jujunti. As for us, be before, we can't do anything well. It's only Obroni who can do things well. So for us, if somebody is doing well, we have to say, oh, they probably went and did this. We just write off, we invalidate, we negate people's accomplishments, we negate people. They see our negative comment. Sometimes even things that, look, we're all guilty. Oh. There are certain things you think, but you don't voice it. You just keep quiet. Hello, Fred. Long time. How are you doing? You know, so we just say anything. When you go to comments, can you give me a hello? Sorry about that. That's a friend I haven't spoken to in a while, a family friend, so I had to take his call. And so, what was I saying? The positivity aspect, So you see somebody a comment. There's so many examples. I can't even for the life of me remember. But you go on their platform, you see something they are talking about. It's about somebody, and then you see a nasty comment there. Oh, blah blah blah, and I'm like, what? We talk too much. We are not very tactful. We are not discreet. We think we have to spew everything out. And those things that we spew out, it tells people who we are. So when you see a comment, you say, oh, this person, they have no respect for themselves. They don't know how to be tactful. You know, just anything, we splash it out. It's not right. We need to be positive. If you don't have anything to say, waka pass. It's better to walk away with your negative comments. That person doesn't need you raining on their parade. No. Train yourself to learn to bless people, compliment people, things like that, instead of putting the negative out. Because maybe the person has worked so hard at that thing to accomplish that, and just one word from you will bring them down. They'll forget the effort even that they put. It takes a strong person to rise above those kinds of things. So we've shut a lot of people down because of our negativity, and we continue to do it because we won't work on ourselves. So we don't want other people to thrive. That is the problem. So the next one, under how you can do your inner work, let go of comparisons. Don't compare yourself to anybody, okay? This will help you to step into your personal power. Now, let me talk about this. We're very envious and jealous people. Not all of us, but mainly based on my previous comments that I just made, the negativity, okay? And the thing too is that, I mean, you can't tell people how to behave, but this is how I'll put it. It is not everything too that we have to come and put on social media. Because when you are, human beings, social media is not just our people, it's different other people. But if you know that we as a community are so predisposed towards negativity, it's not everything. Sometimes you see these things that said, move in silence. Don't tell people what you are going to do because they don't want you to get there. So they'll do anything to, downgrade you or push you down. Don't go blabbing everything, really. So don't compare yourself. Fight, run your own race. Oh, I admire what Fred is doing. Oh, Aisha is doing so great. Oh, Nanaraba is doing this. Can you help me? You ask the question. Even if you won't ask for help, just admire them. But sometimes tell people, hey, you are doing good, you know? So the comparison, why would you compare yourself to somebody? These women do it. Oh, look at you. You are so dark. So what? I should go and bleach? Nah, that's not for me. You are not better than me because you have bleached. You don't know who you are. That's what the problem is, right? If you did, you wouldn't do that. But that's my opinion. Yeah. So step into your own personal power. There's something you are good at. Stop always looking at people thinking they are better than you. Everybody has their own strengths. Okay. Everybody has what they are good at. And so don't go making yourself feel small. Do your inner work, step into your own personal power. And then the other thing too is that release your emotional baggage. There's a lot of baggage. Sometimes it's pressure from family in the sense of your upbringing, depending on who you are in the family order, firstborn, secondborn, thirdborn, whatever. There's those pressures. Or you grow up with certain thoughts, certain ideas. Oh, I have to do everything for everybody. No, you don't. You can only do so much. The rest you live. It's okay. You have to live for yourself because if you're going to get into this mode of doing for everybody, you'll forget yourself and you don't know when your life will be over. And so, really, you would have lived a life pleasing people instead of doing work on yourself to better yourself because you came here for a purpose. Right. Tony says comparison of this generation is catapulted by social media. People are indoors. I shouldn't laugh. People are indoors questioning their God because of what so-called celebrity is claiming they have achieved at a certain age. This is the thing. You see, if you are insecure, you are shallow-minded, these things, what do you call it? All is vanity. What you say? Like, hey, as Nanaraba would say, drink water and mind your own business. Stay in your corner. Like it's when you see some of the ranting, you kind of know that this is somebody I should take seriously. That one I shouldn't take seriously. Why don't you go listen to Denzel Washington or whoever, somebody speaking something positive? Okay, yeah. And then another thing too is that you have to acknowledge your feelings, like recognize how you feel. Some of us, if somebody has offended you, they've said something to you right there, call them out on it like, hey, Asimesi, you said this. I'm not sure I understand what you are saying. Get them to clarify. A lot of times our people, oh, na we kakra me kind, I'm just joking with you. No, you are not joking. Let's take responsibility for ourselves. Don't go around being the person speaking and spewing negative on people. And then when they call you on it, then you want to bully them and call them names. That is not right. No, we don't do that anymore. We don't take that. If you say something I don't like, I'm not going to walk away and let it affect me. I'll ask you there. No, I want my freedom. My peace of mind is important to me. That's why I'll ask you. And it's not about fighting. No. This fighting is bushiatics. Yeah. So the other thing is in doing all this, you uncover your desires. What is it that you like to do? When you do this inner work, you find out a lot about yourself, really. Yeah. Practice self-care, like build daily and weekly practices to replenish yourself. Do you like going for walks? Do you exercise at home? Do you listen to music? What do you listen? I like listening to gospel music, but there's music that when you listen to, it gives you soul vibrations. Like I like listening to Kenny G's classical music or even the old songs that I grew up with as a teenager. These days, when I'm walking around with my daughters or whoever I go, What is that I just heard? One time I was at my hairdresser's. Actually, I'm going to see her this afternoon. And she's cutting my hair. Some music is playing, blah, blah, blah. And I went, Rose, is this what counts for music these days? And we started laughing. I'm like, hello. There was music in back in the day that I could hear. I could hear back in the day, I could hear the words and understand and go along with it. But these days, and it's music and people are dying over it. Please ask me any of these musicians. I don't even know who they are, okay? Anyway, but like just do something that soothes your soul, you know? Mhm. And I talked about meditation already. Okay, so the emotional baggage. Don't go. A lot of us, we're carrying this baggage. We're so angry, and then we are screaming at our kids. Or maybe you're not with your husband anymore, and one of the kids who looks like the dad infuriates you to no end, and you keep screaming and shouting at them. Please go and do your inner work. That child is not to be blamed. They didn't ask you to make them, huh? Or even if it's not somebody who looks like the child, like the dad, it's because, oh, you are frustrated. So you scream and whip your child and be beating the life out of them. Now you don't do that. Nope. All right. So moving along, benefits of inner work. When you are doing this inner work, anything that comes up within you, don't take it so personally. Like, this happened to you. A lot of times, people who have been essayed because of what they were told, if you tell this person, Mekun, who can't say, I'll do this to you, right? And some of us, especially the women, we are such gatekeepers. Can you imagine that a child, a collage, so be a tonemona, say, Oko catch your mommy and our nana, then they turn around and look at you like you are, you know, una oya kolaboni. Instead of holding the man responsible, they would rather blame you. Give me a sec, please. Yeah, they would rather blame you. So you carry this with you for the rest of time. Can you imagine? Listen, there are many hurt and wounded people walking around because of some of these things, but we choose not to address it because as a community, we are not into therapy. Okay, say therapy, so are them about them, you know? Uh-huh. So benefits of inner work, it helps you become more aware of yourself. Self-awareness is so key. If you are somewhere and oh, my lightning, the sun is sorry, I just shifting around because I just realized the sun is behind me over here. um if you are in a situation and you know you are getting triggered because you've done this work, right, and not in same, so I'm going to stand and fight this person, no, you go, you know what, this is not good for me, I best walk away. And you walk away because you have done the work. You are not going to sit around and flare up and disgrace yourself for people to see. Nope. And in our community, we say, oh, they are coward. The others, no, I don't care what you think. I'm preserving my dignity. I choose to walk away. Okay. And another benefit, it creates healthier ways of relating to yourself and to the world. Uh-huh. When you meet somebody who is worked on themselves or they've been trained properly, okay? They don't go around treating people basa basa, talking to people anyhow. No, they'll have a decent, communication with you. They show social skills. If you say something they don't like, they'll question you. If you tell them they said something you don't like, they'll clarify and apologize. Yeah. Also, another benefit is that you gain more control over the ups and downs of life. If you've not done this inner work, everything makes you flare up. You are shouting and screaming all over the place. But when you've worked on yourself, you've done the inner work, when challenges come, yeah, it's tough, but you hold on. You hold on. You know how to hold on because you've worked on yourself. If you're a believer, you hold on to your God. Like you have that strength because you are not afraid. You are not blown by any which wind. Some people, oh, you've gone and talked about them. they are so hurt, they are so afraid. There's a lot of people who come on social media and come and do all kinds of things because they want to shut people down. And when you allow them to shut you down, you are done. So, and it's not even just social media, even in your relationships, right? People are being shut down all over the place. It could be in marriages, it could be in friendships, whatever. Even it could be in churches. Sometimes you threaten the pastors, they'll shut you down. No cry no wɔ hɔ a yɛnka. The benefit of inner work, it changes your outlook on life. Okay? If you used to be somebody who was so pessimistic, oh, I can't do this. As for me, I'm not good enough. I'm not this, I'm not that. You tell yourself, oh, that person tried it. I wonder, let me go listen to their story. If they are somebody you know, you talk to them, they will tell you what they went through, the good and the bad, right? And you learn from it. Or if it's somebody in social media or their books, whatever, you go read and you go, oh, okay, their story sounds familiar. I went through the same thing. So if they've been able to do this, why can't I also do it, right? And so you are not looking at life through pessimistic glasses. You have hope, you have hope. You tell yourself, hey, they did it, so can I. So, what are some of the types of inner work? Okay, so there's like personal growth programs like inner child healing. Those are the deep psychology ones. Me, I don't know too much about that, but you go Google. And then, of course, communication skills, assertiveness training. That is so, so important. Motivation programs, relationship counseling, or any program that teaches you self responsibility and self esteem. So you see, this inner work is so, so important. You as a person, you have to be willing to become the best version of yourself. And it's not about putting on facades and masks, as I say, going through life pretending to be somebody that you are not. The real you needs to come out, and it can only come out when you take the time to work on yourself. We all have shortcomings. Don't be too proud and say, as for me, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm okay. I'm the best. I'm this, I'm that. Oh, they have problems. Look at them. No, we all need to do that work because we are relating to one another. If you're a mother and you're always angry and taking it out on your kids, work on yourselves because you are damaging those kids. You're just passing. You see, a lot of times we say, oh, generational curse is generational. Sometimes it is not. It is just us being stubborn, refusing to do the work so the next generation doesn't suffer. Ote Ghana, Wabaha, you think the way you were beating black and blue, Wabaha, you're coming to Obebo, black and blue. Oko school, Obeko Akoka. Next thing you know, ni abefa no ko na oti ho na usu. So if you are willing to learn, you are willing to work on yourself, some of these things won't happen. And of course, do we have a society where the men are treated like 10 gods and things like that? It be a homaso pride, this and that. They don't know that it be a communicating effectively with, oh, Oba, why should I speak with them? This, that, don't tell. Like all kinds of things are going on, all because we refuse to do our inner work. And when you go and say it, people sit down and say, oh, look at them. They are talking this, they are talking that. No, no. Let me tell you a funny story and then I'll go to the promos. So this week I did a post called Empowered. And then, I just said woman, evolve, enhance. What was the other one? Elevate. Let me count on it. Then I said, blah, 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 be yourself, stand your ground. It's just encouragement, empowerment. Then this guy from nowhere, oh, you guys have to stop this, your blah, blah, blah. Women empowerment is causing so many problems. Why don't you guys, lady, just submit to your husbands and stop this negative behavioral something, something, something. There's some guy on TikTok called PSD, whoever he is. And I had to go to his page and I looked at it and I said, the stuff there, and I thought, oh, a male chauvinist. Because what is it? Joyce Meyer was on there preaching and saying she's anointed, she's this, she's that. No, a Busa question. And a man, so can women preach from the pulpit? So I got a sense of who this person is. Why should a simple post trigger you like that? So we need to stop some of these behaviors. We definitely need to stop some of these behaviors. Work on yourself. Work on yourself. Change your mindset. So if you have somebody like this now, you'll be squished like nipa because you're bad. Say no dream foul, no that. And when you talk about these things, people get upset. Let's face the truth. It's both. For me, listen, I'm not into this women, men, gender war thing. There's faults on both sides. That's I come from it from an individual perspective. You, the individual, own your life, work on yourself, work on yourself. So I'll leave that right there. We should stop this bullying that we are doing on social media and allow people to just be themselves. So this is Auntie Ya's book corner, and on this platform we do a number of programs, including the Saturday Facebook Lives. It's we do it twice a month. I may be going to once a month, depending. Yeah, so I'll let you know. But I share insights from my books. I have 6 books on Amazon. The first one is Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. These books all came out since 2020. So 2020 to now, yes. The second one is The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. It's a book of women empowerment. And like I say, women are, what do you call it? Work, work, work. We nurture everybody, but we forget ourselves. A woman is not a workhorse. Yeah. So I heard somebody lambasting a woman because she went to a program and she didn't cook for her husband. I'm like, hey, Ghana former. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Yeah, can't sem. And this one is actually, no, this is the third one is Refreshing for My Weary Soul. It's a devotional. So I take a passage from the Bible, I speak about it. And then I have a segment of it called Practical Nyamisem. And I take scriptures. I talk about how I see the way we worship God in our society, which is interesting. You see a woman uh, blasting another woman. Yeah, all the time. So, anyway, let me keep quiet. And this one is Own It, a guide to taking accountability and responsibility for your own life journey. Afano, Yefa Bibia World Cup. And the fifth one is My Unapologetic Self. It's a guide to being real and living life on my own terms. I say that we grew up with certain values, right? When you grow up, you question some of them and you make a decision whether you follow that. I made a decision that I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to be nyachum. I'm not going to be katasumu. So I took the good values like, respecting yourself, honoring yourself. There are certain good things that I kept. And then when I came where I lived, I picked the good aspects from there and I used it to make my life. So if you've been told, this is a classic one, so sure, Busuya, then you come and sit in a brochure and you won't do anything for yourself and you use your strength giddy 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 to go and help them. Then when its retirement comes on tap, oh yeah, maybe that building where you don't even have space in it, they've occupied it, they'll turn around and insult you that you didn't come and do anything in a tree. The sixth one is a call to intimacy, a call to prayer, intimacy with God unleashed. Just a series of prayer points that I wrote when I was in one of the Ghana churches here. It seemed to have caused problems, but I thought that, I need to compile it and use it to bless people. Now, Naraba is on here. She proofread the book for me. And I asked her, Naraba, do you see anything wrong with these points? She said, no, there's nothing wrong. In fact, I was convicted. So where was the problem? Before Yesuba. So there. And then we have Authors Hub. It's made up of 2 authors. Sister Ajuodo Mensah Sasu's book is Unveiling My Life, a guide to breaking free and reclaiming control of my life. And Sister Ya Boatima Boatin's book is Echoes of YAA'S Chronicles, an overview of self-discovery and building bonds. So we do lives every 2 weeks. We'll be on Saturday, February 22nd, and we'll be continuing with part 2 of ethical and moral issues. So the last time we treated a few, and this time we're going to treat another 4 subtopics under that. As well, on February 24th, Nanaraba and I will do Graceful Gems. We are believers. We're not theologians or biblical experts, but we come and share insights, based on the Bible. And we'll be talking about love because, as you know, Yesterday was Valentine's Day, and those those who fell are fallen. I'll leave it right there, right? And so we're coming to talk about love based on First Corinthians chapter 13, and this whole concept of love. For me, I stand by Matthew 22:39. Love your neighbor as yourself. So if you're going to give everything away and not love yourself, nature says, Sawara, yes. On Sundays, we have women empowerment sessions with Pastor Patience Edwards. It's empowering, you know. She shares all kinds of nuggets. And hey, if you want to join, come come see me and I'll connect you to her so that you get more information on that. Okay, so with that, I've come to the end of the program. I've been talking about doing your inner work. Yes, it's very important that you do your inner work because it makes you a better person and you're able to have good relationships with those around you. You're able to give of yourself and bless people and impact them. When we develop ourselves, doing all this inner work, developing yourself, develop your mind, you become an asset to the community. Think what would happen if we all worked on ourselves and developed our community instead of fighting all over social media or instead of talking about sex. Is that all? I just saw something this morning, a video someone sent me, and the thing, this sex and some on national television, and I say, wow, is that all? Anyway, as well, watch out for videos this week. On Monday, there's a short video that will come out on a word for you. It's about perseverance. On Tuesday, there'll be a one on the woman of inner beauty from my book, The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. And on Wednesday, Lot Must Go from Refreshing for My Weary Soul. Lot Must Go. People that we carry around. If you want to go far in life, there's certain things that you must drop. You have to remove the excess baggage before you can move on. If you are not able to do that, there is a big problem. So watch out for that. Okay, so I thank you for listening. I hope you've gotten something from this today and purpose to do your inner work. You'll be blessed. You'll enjoy